So great, thank you very much. My name is Dr. Adel ElMessiry. I am the co-founder of Alphafin. And what we are doing is we are creating the financial evolution tech. In Alphafin, we're building the fintech Lego pieces so that we can create a whole new world that is based on blockchain. We have two platforms. The first one is the Decentralized Lending Network, DLN. And then the second one is Verified Impact NFT. That one is what I want to talk about with you today. So I think you are all familiar with the many speeches where people are talking about impact. What have we done? And we talk always about like, hey, we invested, we do DeFi, we do all of the stuff. We're going to bank the unbanked, and we're going to create a new world and so forth. However, what have we actually done? Did we create something? How are we helping people? How are we bringing impact into this world? That is my focal point. And if you look at the philanthropic ecosystem, you will see that it is $565 billion annually today. It is slated to be about $1 trillion in 2030. And all of that is still running on the old system. What I mean is you have normally people that are donors, beneficiaries like NGOs, 501(c)(3), and there are recipients. Recipients are the end people that we are all trying to help. But what are the challenges? The challenges that we are facing are things like lack of transparency. How do you know that the charity that you're doing is actually going to the right person? You don't. And if you are participating in a GoFundMe campaign or something like that, you don't really know whether the money is going to the creator of the campaign. Is it going to the beneficiary? There is a lot of ambiguity in it. And then there is a lot of fees associated with all of that. Very hard to move it around. And then it's costly because I don't know if you've tried to transfer money across borders. It's a lot of fees that you have to pay, and it's 3 days minimum in order to get it to where people need it. So, and then there is no incentivization to the donor. We always talk about, all right, do good for goodness sake. However, can we do good and do well by doing good? Maybe. So we need to think about that as well. And then most of the charity organizations today, they don't have a Web3 strategy. They don't understand how they're going to operate, how they're going to go and talk with the new generation, because the new generation is not going to be on Web 2, it's going to be in Web 3. Look at Facebook changing their name into Meta and all the advances that are going there. So your constituencies are all going to be in Web 3. So how can we deal with that? The answer is verified impact. So it is the very first marketplace designed from the ground up so that it would embody the philanthropic approach to it. It utilizes the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and it verifies all aspects of the ecosystem as well as provide incentives for the people to participate in it. Not just for the creators, not just for the beneficiaries, but for the donors as well. So how does that work? Well, first of all, we start with the simple things. We have rewritten the NFT smart contract from the ground up so that it would embody the SDGs. The SDGs are 17 out of them. For example, elimination of poverty, access to justice, access to education, gender equality, and so forth. And most of the world leaders have already subscribed and signed into those in the early 2000s. Then we add the beneficiary. Why we think about the beneficiary first? Because those are the people that are taking and organizing all the funds in order to get it to the recipient. Their entire job, the nonprofits, the 501(c)(3), are designing to try and take all of that stuff to where it should be, getting the impact to where it should be. And they are serving the recipients. The recipients are the ones that are getting that effect. But the recipients are not just ones that are getting the money in. They are also the people that would cook the food, the people that would deliver the food, the people that would help get the impact where it is. What about the creators? The creators, in today's world, the creators are completely separated. So you don't have them all together. They are on one side of the equation. They don't know how they can help with the beneficiaries. And then that makes the donors at a loss of like which beneficiaries that I need to help. Because if I am deploying funds and I'm trying to pick where should I help people, I need to find a way that is easily designed for me so I can figure out, all right, I want to support gender equality. How do I invest into that? Where are those that are helping those? So the solution is simple. The beneficiary comes on board. The beneficiary goes through something called KYB. KYB is Know Your Beneficiary. And once they get verified through that, we activate them on the platform. And once they are activated on the platform, they now can create campaigns. Each campaign can have its own wallet, its description, select a subset of SDGs that they support, and an incentivization, meaning that they would incentivize the creators with a certain amount that they want them to help. This way, we now have the creator come in, and they are now looking through how can I help people, because deep down at every artist's fundamental core, they want to do good. And usually it is hard when saying, okay, would you donate $1,000 to help feed the kids in Somalia, versus say, would you donate your artwork to help feed the kids in Somalia? That's the distinction here. So they pick the campaign that they like to support, and then they are able of creating artwork to support that campaign. Best thing here is that when that art is sold, the smart contract automatically would deliver the funds to the beneficiary and then deliver the incentivization to the creators. The donors are then the people that can search through the entire system, figure out how, where they should deploy. But up till now, when you donate, like we all donate here to charity, what do you get? You would get basically a thank you note and a receipt so that you can deduct that from your taxes. Okay? When you go to buy an NFT, an asset, what do you get? An asset that you cannot really deduct it from your taxes. However, on this platform, for the very first time, you can have both. You can actually donate, get a receipt, and get an NFT. So by doing good, you can actually do well. Why is that? Imagine that you have supported a girl to go through her education, and that girl becomes the next president of the country. So for the very first time, you can not only show the impact that you've done, but also that NFT that you have proving that good that you've done will appreciate in value. And that gives you an incentivization to collect those NFTs and deploy them over time. Not only this, but once it is appreciating in value and say you would like to sell it on a secondary market, at that point, the same rules that control the royalties will actually kick in. This will mean that you will be able of creating impact, of generating good in perpetuity, forever. Every time that NFT is changing hands, it's generating impact through the beneficiaries that created this NFT. So in essence, what we are doing here is we are creating a marketplace for good, utilizing the circle of good here, and helping people on both sides to come together, beneficiaries to show their work, as well as the creators to show off their art and support their favorite SDG and help people across the globe. Back in August 23rd, the very first NFT came live on the platform, and it was sold for the benefit of the Ukraine Ministry of Digital Transformation. And the entire network worked perfectly. The platform charges 2% for the transaction, and it was split between the Ukraine Ministry of Digital Transformation to their wallet, so you can track the transaction on it and see it in actual effect, and the artists that have created that NFT for them. And then we started having a growing list of beneficiaries. For example, USA for Ukraine. It's an organization that is helping children, helping build schools in Ukraine, came on board. They went to a school in Columbus, Ohio, where the kids actually drew paintings for the benefit of Ukraine. Those have been digitized and put on the platform. And other ones like the Blockchain Central America DAO that is helping with education in Central America. The DCBS is a charity in India helping women to sustain through the year. And the PEN Network is doing the same thing, and Peace Ambassadors as well. All of them already are on the platform. What's missing from here? The creators. So we have a bunch of creators that jumped on board, and we are ever expanding. NFT Punks, WebDB Tech, Vic Giza is a Mexican NFT creator that loves impact and adding more content there. And then Serenity is another NFT creator that for the very first time, they can get an impact out of their art to help other people in here. This is a DGH portfolio company. I am very proud that I have Joseph and Alan as my partners in it. And Said Mofia is my advisor from a business point of view. He's the manager of the DVN, Draper Venture Network, and Professor Larry Bridge-Smith as my legal advisor. He's a professor at Vanderbilt, and he chaired the Alternate Dispute Committee at the Tennessee Supreme Court. He's with us right here. So this way, anything that I'm saying is perfectly legal, and he can attest for that. Don't leave home without your lawyer. So with that, the question that I have for you is, what are you waiting for? Let's do impact today. It's easier than what you think. Join me. All right, questions, and I'm not gonna get down from the stage without at least one single question from somebody that I did not pay. No? Everything is clear? All right, you guys have, oh, here you go.
Hello. How's your and the team's efforts been going out to different nonprofits to introduce them to this new way of enhancing their mission?
So in the nonprofits, they have been mainly two camps. Some nonprofits are completely oblivious about NFTs and blockchain and so forth, so those require educations for them. Some nonprofits actually have been exposed to the crypto market and so forth. For example, Save the Children, which we have a representative of right here. And we have been working with them to try and expand them. That's one side. The other thing is we also signed an LOI with the Giving Block to help get the actual payment system much easier. So because not a lot of people operate in crypto right now, but on the system we'll be able of taking payments in fiat and also remitting the proceeds in fiat to the non-for-profit. So this way they don't have to deal with any of that stuff. It's as simple as sign up, show us your documents, and then create campaigns and get your NFTs up and running. Thank you. Any more? All right, great. Join us. Thank you.